Welcome to the Planetary Annihilation Gamma. I'm Brad Nicholson, and this is John Maver.
First thing we want to do is thank you for buying the game. Without your support and enthusiasm, this would not have been possible.
Alpha introduced you to the game, Beta gave you big, epic moments, but Gamma is an incredible release. It's a brand new and different way to play the game.
Gamma is beyond beta, and we have a bunch of new features to prove it. We've got picture-in-picture, we've got more advanced command and control features, and we have Howard's amazing orchestral soundtrack.
And we're starting to roll out other new features like new UI and social options, so get in the game and play.
And we'll see you in the forums as well.
Nailed it. That was nailed.
I really liked that. That was good. You like
Yeah, pretty good for one take.
Yes, just one. I mean, like, we just walked in there and then did it, because this is how we roll. Hey, what is up? Welcome to the Uber Entertainment live stream. I'm Brad Nicholson. I'm joined by John Maver.
Although our name tags are flipped.
I'm John Maver, and I'm joined by Brad Nicholson. How you doing?
In the wrong spot.
Apparently
What?
So.
Which camera am I supposed to be looking at? Like, which one?
That one right there.
That one? That one? Okay, I see it. Perfect. That's
Happy?
That's a great.
So
place to
as you
put
might be able to figure out, we're all kind of zombified a little bit from working on this. So
Yeah,
this might be a little bit of an extremely wacky live stream.
It's a heck of a day, though. So first thing we like to do whenever we start these live streams is thank all of you for making this video game possible. Your pledges, your support, your ideas, your feedback, your enthusiasm, all these things feed into making Planetary Annihilation a pretty cool video game, I would say.
I would say pretty damn cool, yeah.
Pretty damn cool video game. Today's a big day, like I just mentioned. Today is the start of Gamma. We just released our first Gamma build. Today we'd like to talk about what that means and also where we've come. I mean, like, Planetary Annihilation's a very, very big project that we've been working on for a long time. It has quite a bit of history built up.
So yeah, your long time feels like a short time.
Short time.
But you know, I wanted to kind of go back and kind of review the history a little bit and talk about how we got where we are.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk a little bit more about Gamma. So when we first started out, you know, the very first thing that happened was we decided that we were going to do the Kickstarter. Steve, who you'll see a little bit later in this live stream, really put together an amazing video along with, you know, other people helping out, but Steve really, you know, did the majority of putting that thing together.
Yeah.
We did the Kickstarter, raised some money, raised a good amount of money.
Yeah.
Which is what made the whole thing possible and sparked it off.
A lot of people really bought into the idea of a next generation RTS.
Exactly. And so we started out by basically trying to get the game out as quickly as possible. So we started programming basically in, let's call it November of 2012. And by basically May, we had the first alpha release out.
Oh, wow.
That is, you know, mostly building an engine from scratch. We had some code, but, you know, we had to build a lot of stuff. And then ever since then, you know, we've gone from alpha, which was, you know, real basically playable, to beta, which had a lot more stuff in it, to now Gamma, where we're really starting to bring things together, really starting to push, you know, more of the social aspects, community aspects. We've done a ton of work inside the game as well, though. You know, we released most of that stuff last week because we really wanted to make sure it was working before we dropped it on everyone. Unlike all the stuff we dropped today, which we, you know, we're working on until literally 12:30 last night.
Yeah, it was. It seems like our big builds kind of do that. So Beta, for example, we were here for a very long time for that. And of course, Beta, if you didn't know, added the big, huge, epic moment of the game, which is smashing planets. Always fun.
Yeah, that was the big kind of reveal there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, with Gamma, it's kind of like what we're trying to do is say, look, we are actually developing this game in front of you.
Right.
And I kind of felt like there's too much baggage with the Beta label. Everyone's like, well, Beta, everyone has a different view of what Beta means in their head.
Right.
And so by switching to Gamma, I think it opens up that conversation as to, like, how are you guys developing this game and what is this Gamma thing and all that kind of stuff. Most games, from what I can tell, don't actually develop nearly as much in front of the audience as we have been doing. You know, we're literally, you saw the game really early, and alpha was really early. I mean, literally 6 months into development.
Right.
And, you know, beta wasn't really that much past that. We did an incredible amount. Now we're hitting our stride. You know, all the stuff that's pouring out of Gamma that showed up last week and this week, that's just starting to scratch the surface. Our team is kind of like ramped up to 110%, and it's going to be coming fast and furious.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what that means. What are some of the things that are coming down the pipe? There's a bunch of stuff that we just didn't put in this build because we didn't feel comfortable, right? So there's things like the Friends bar that's going to be at the bottom where you're going to have all your connectivity with your friends.
Or instant messaging as
instant
well.
messaging.
The video feed in the main menu.
Video feed. Lots more work on the lobby is coming. New game options. You know, I kind of felt to me like everyone thinks the multi-planet start is in the build today. It's not, but it's coming soon.
That's another thing.
You know, there's certain areas where I'm backwards. I hate going backwards, but sometimes you have to take a step backwards to take a step forwards. So we're really trying to kind of bring the broad, wide feature set, including all of the social features and everything, into the game as we kind of prep towards moving it towards release.
And tweaking our existing elements. Like we'll build on picture-in-picture.
Absolutely.
Continue with balance, of course.
Yeah, picture-in-picture is a good example of, you know, incredible amount of work that had to be done just to get the feature working at all.
Right.
And that's kind of where it is right now. It's very much a first pass. And it's really cool to see the modders out there who've taken that and made, you know, made the window resizable and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we want to do that too. But, you know, things have to go a piece at a time.
Right, absolutely. So actually, you want to talk about what we released today?
Yeah.
The part of Gamma, kind of like the tease of the overall experience. I got my man Mark over here on his computer. What's up, Mark?
Hey, guys.
It's so weird to look at the TV and then see you behind me, but you're really right beside me. We're not about that.
It's Twitchception.
Twitchception. All right, yeah, there you go.
Quite
There's
the
a
camera
close-up of
angle.
Mark. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
I'm Mark.
And by the way, Mark is also zombified. I think he was actually up
until
the latest. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around
Because
It's been a long couple days, but we're really happy to kind of bring you this build right here. So let's show you the main menu now. The front end is completely brand new, rebuilt and reimagined, and streamlined in some ways as well. And of course, you get a beautiful picture of Commander up front. Your build notes nice and big on the side.
now the commander that you get there is basically going to be whatever you select as your default commander.
Yep. And that's in the Army, which we'll talk about with Steve Thompson a little bit later. But this is a fantastic kind of functionality here. Twitch, you can see on the side.
We have 551 viewers right now.
551 viewers. So also you'll be able to bring those, in an update down the line, you'll be able to bring those videos over kind of into the main area as well. So you can watch them a little bit more comfortably. Yep. Is my mic hot? Is that what's going on?
You're hot.
I'm hot. Okay. All right. Lower me down or something in audio form.
So one of the biggest things, you know, that we haven't mentioned yet about this, I mean, I love the new main menu and everything is, and this is kind of crazy, the orchestral soundtrack got released in this build.
Yes,
right.
it did.
This is one of our stretch goals. This was our final stretch goal actually for the game. We recorded it a few months ago. Howard has been madly mixing it, and I really would have loved to have had him on the show today, except for the fact that he has jury duty. The day that his soundtrack's getting released, he's got jury duty. And he already kind of, you know, had to avoid it once, and you know, he's just got to do it. So
it's a stunning soundtrack and over an hour's worth of music actually all together in the game right now, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm super stoked about the soundtrack. I mean, I think it's absolutely amazing. So we will get Howard on a future episode to talk in detail about that whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when we do release the documentary, I think we have more footage of that than than almost anything else.
That was an incredible experience, for sure. So actually, we should show some people the lobby here.
All right, so let's hit play.
Yeah.
So this is the first thing you're going to see, right? Is the new server browser. There's actually a bunch of features in this that we've built that we haven't quite finished rolling out yet.
I love these troll names. I'm sorry.
We have lobby called Boris the Russian Love Hammer. So sorry, that's just
props to you.
What's wrong with that? I mean, it's a video game, right?
Props. So yes, this is the new server browser, which is pretty nice. You can see a big button, Create Game, on the side. Well, actually, I think we're going to allow users to drill down a little bit more into the menu. You'll be able to search by number of planets, as well as players, which we have in right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is the infrastructure for having even more ability to filter and all that kind of stuff from within the server browser.
Yeah, we've been asked a couple times, actually, in the forums, you know, are these things, these elements final? No, this UI element isn't. It's a first pass that we're going to continue to iterate on.
It's first pass of the second pass.
yes.
Yes, yes. So you wanna create a game, show people, look at this. So this is really cool. It's our brand new game lobby.
So go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, so we have a couple things here now. So we've simplified the game modes a bit. Instead of versus AI, versus this, versus that. You think of everything basically as free for all or teamed up. So free for all, pretty straightforward. Everyone's been doing this. Yeah. If you want to play an AI game, you just set it as an AI now. And the nice thing about this change to the lobby is, as people are coming in, you can, oh, hey, I have 3 other buddies who want to join. Oh, even though I'm not going to actually set this public because, well, what the heck, actually.
Yeah.
We'll set it public, see who joins us.
Be a star.
Oh, we have 5 other people who want to join in. Okay, let's go ahead and set it to a 5 game. Oh, nope, there's another person.
Yep.
Bring them in. Now, team armies is where we're also getting some interesting stuff. So you notice this share army. People have been asking for alliances. You got alliances.
Done.
So if someone joins these slots now, there we go, got some realms. Hey, Liquus. So we are allied, but it's the standard concept of an ally. So we're not sharing armies anymore, but we can actually just go ahead and play.
Yeah. And the important thing to mention there is we actually have done a ton of work to make that possible, to have these kind of not team army alliances. Right. And then currently in the current build that we released today, you don't have an ability to change that during the game. However, all that stuff is built. It just needs a little bit more love before we can push it out to you guys. So some major feature work has been going on there for quite a while.
Yeah. And actually, do you want to step into the game real quick? We can talk about some of our small in-game UI changes.
Yeah, so we got 2 teamed up groups here, and then we got an AI army. So we'll just go in and see how this all looks.
So I wanted to point out that the whole thing about where it's generating planets now, we kind of had that dialed in before. We were going to get that redialed in. The only reason it's not doing it is because there's some technical risk there we didn't want to take on today.
Yeah, which is understandable, for sure. But check out that new little screen there. What's the name of that screen? What is that called?
What, this?
The loading screen.
Loading screen.
Just a loading screen, just
yeah,
a cool background.
Loading screen.
That's a hot planet. Well, I guess
I call it
it's a temperate, actually.
Oh yeah, I guess the trees. It's an okay planet. It's an Earth type.
Anyway. H congruous.
Yeah, sure, that's a word that you just used. So Gamma again. I mean, it's an interesting start. Like we've got a couple questions along the lines of so what's next? And right now, I think we're really focused on making the experience about you and your friends, right? In Gamma.
I mean, keep in mind we are absolutely pushing on in-game stuff at the same time, right?
This build about Galactic War. In other words.
Well, not just that, but this build had a bunch of balance changes in it. Some of the stuff that's coming up on the in-game side in the future, like we said, the Dynamic Alliance dialogue stuff. Yeah. We are still working on command and control. Right. I'm really happy with area commands. I'm really happy with formations, but the formations are not finished. They need to be better, tighter. We need to have more control over where things are. And we are also working on basically the Uber command system, basically, where you'll be able to control kind of the shape of your formation through kind of freeform drawing and stuff, and build walls by drawing them and all kinds of stuff. So we're not done by any stretch of the imagination on the in-game UI. And there's the whole orders as first-class entities thing that people ask about a lot, and we have some plans along those lines. So there's still quite a bit of in-game work that we're doing. So I don't want to say that the only thing we're doing in Gamma is working on social features. It's just that we've had a bunch of people working on those features, and we're going to keep pushing on the game as well.
Yeah, as we hurdle towards release. Right?
As we hurdle towards release, which we still have not announced a date for.
But it's done, folks.
Well, yeah.
Yes. Externally. So, are we still?
No, we're still loading.
Wow.
Something broken?
Yeah, I think something broke.
I'm not sure.
You never. Hey, live game.
Oh, I think what I think it is actually.
Well, we got so many games going right now.
I think we have so many games going that we ran out of servers.
Yeah. So it's kicking up new Amazon servers as we go, but it can sometimes take a little bit.
Yeah. Those things tend to happen. Actually, you want to take some questions from chat? Well, we've got a little bit of downtime here. Maybe that'd be fun.
Or we could go to the next segment while that's doing its thing.
Oh yeah,
we can just come back to this.
Yeah,
because it might take a little bit, and I can try and restart.
Brad, drink your water.
That is, there must be an actual bug.
I got it.
This one's taking a little too long. I may kill this one.
So let's get that kind of, I hate it when that happens.
Well,
I'm gonna make a plan at this.
Let's get Steven here, and show off some of the commander art, right?
Yeah,
that was,
let's do it.
That's what we're gonna do.
Let's take a small little break, I guess, while we shuffle. I don't know. How does this work, Andrew? Tell me how it works. Come on.
Planet.
Planet?
Get up.
Get up.
Sit down.
Get up and sit down. Is what
I'll wait till after we're done because we gotta look at pretty stuff now.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Faction or lore? All right, I think we're good. Are we good? We're great. Hey, Steve.
Is there
what's
something
up,
going
man?
on
How long
right
has it
now?
been since you've been on?
That's not Steve.
We just had a
Sean.
game, not
What's up?
like that
not
we were
Steve, it's
showing on the
Sean
live
David.
stream, not
Oh, it is
actually.
John.
See, that's
Hey,
the,
we got another
we gotta believe what the
John
TV tells us.
Well, I don't know. It got stuck in generating planets forever.
Oh, you
Whoa.
Oh, really?
Woo! Tabs. Andrew, what the?
I saw it last night.
So
There's stuff going on, but I don't.
you're the
Okay.
you're the kind of like art director man.
Yeah.
behind
Okay.
Planetary Annihilation. I think
Do you have a
that's
line
lot
on how to
of
fix
things
it?
we introduce you. So like what do you do?
I don't know why.
That's it. I make art.
You make art.
I make robots and then we
If
blow
you
them
hit
up.
F5,
Yeah.
All that artwork just
Beautiful art.
done this.
Beautiful art. Beautiful robots.
Well, I mean, it's not it's not me. I mean, we have a very small but mighty team of artists.
Yeah.
I mean, like they're amazing. In the Gamma, you're going to see some amazing updates to our planets, and that's all Brandon and Tim. And those guys are cranking and making some beautiful stuff. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous stuff.
I saw
mean-
Tim working on badges the other day for
Yeah.
the first time in a long time. Like it wasn't a crack. You
Yeah.
know, I was just like, what's going on?
What?
What's
Where the
happening
rock?
here?
Why aren't you working on rocks? What's going on?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's great.
Go back to the armory. So actually, we should show folks the. Oh wait, no. We have some commander design. So one of the things the armory brought in today is a bunch of new commanders, and people haven't seen before, and some iterations on others, right? Or am I? Okay.
No, that's correct.
Am I tripping?
No,
Okay,
no, that's
all
correct.
This is one of those. Tell me who this dude is. What's his story?
This is the Alpha Commander. So this is the commander that our Kickstarter pledgers get. What was the level? Was that the
$90
level?
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
So anyone that backed us on Kickstarter at the $90 level gets this commander.
Look at
So-
that dude.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, we can just go through them all.
Just go through? Okay.
Yeah, that's the Centurion, I think. Right?
Yep.
That's the
Yep.
Raptor
Century
commander.
Raptor. Yeah.
So inverted legs, huge, just super bulky dude, and he's available to everybody now.
Yep.
Anyone can play this guy.
I like
Yeah.
him. I'm into
Yeah.
this dude.
Yeah, he's nice and bulky.
It's got my style.
That's nice. And everyone knows the Delta Commander, bipedal. He's the Imperial rig. We'll talk about the rigs in just a second. And we're next. Oh, next. This is the progenitor. This is the founder of all commanders or something like that. It's crazy. So he was in our Kickstarter as well. Don't remember the pledge level. There's a Theta Commander.
I like Theta as well.
Everyone gets this guy too.
Yeah.
Although actually
Anyone
only
that
early
pre-orders.
backers.
Anyone that pre-orders, right?
Pre-orders and early backers get
Yeah.
it. Once the game goes live, this commander will no longer be available.
All right, what's next? Next. Okay, this dude is. We just renamed this guy Osiris, I think.
Oh, is that? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is Osiris. This
Yeah.
is one of our quad commanders.
And the fourth faction leader. Fourth faction's leader. That's how you say that
yeah,
word.
yeah, he's one of the leaders, right?
Yeah, totally.
And then the next one, this is the Raptor. This is Nemicus, right?
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
the leader of the. What is it?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Now we're
testing
both
our
in
knowledge
trouble.
over our lore knowledge.
A
Not synchronous.
wonderful faction in Planetary Annihilation. That's who he's the leader of.
So the point, the reason why we're showing these is that you notice that each there's 4 different commander classes. There's the Raptor commander, which is the inverted leg that you're seeing here. There's the quad, the spider-looking dude that has the 4 legs. The tank commander, which Mark just showed.
There we go.
And then the Imperial, which is the bipedal commander. And the reason why we made that decision, hey Mark, could you go to the custom commander folder?
Yeah, of course.
Would you mind? Is that we wanted to have a limited number of rigs because we can't create a custom skeletal rig for every commander. That's just too much work for us to do. So we developed 4 skeleton structures. The Imperial class, which is a bipedal bone structure. You can see the bone structure on the top of those images up there.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And then what's the next? There's the quad class.
Yep.
And then what's next?
Raptor.
Raptor, and then tank. And so from these rigs, what we wanted to do is create a skeleton structure that was flexible enough where we can get all kinds of different designs per class. And that's why we built a bunch of example commanders, some that were really skinny, some that were really fat, some that were really tall, just to kind of test the limits of the rig. Like, you know, how do they animate if you have one skeleton, but a really skinny type commander, exact same skeleton, but super, you know, chunky and stuff like that. So man, it took a lot of time to kind of figure out. And part of that process was making a bunch of them to see, you know, hey, and so we ended up with a bunch of commanders that we can use so that you guys can play with them.
Yeah, totally. And we're creating a little over 100 custom commanders for all our early backers in the final tier, right? The final 2 tiers.
The 1,000, 5,000, and 10,000 level backers.
Final 3, yes.
Yeah.
And this is part of it as well. I mean, that's what you're looking at right there. Is like the kind of the rig options that we gave folks.
Correct.
For that.
That's correct. Actually, anyone who gets a custom commander gets access to this page, which kind of goes through a step-by-step process of how to customize your commander.
Yeah.
So they choose the rig type. They choose their weapon type. So the right-hand arm is a weapon that you can select one of 3 different weapon types: the Uber cannon, the laser cannon, or the missile launcher. And then the third step is providing us some feedback. So some people have been giving us links to images online, images of robots or images of crazy stuff. I mean,
right,
it's great.
Things that inspire them.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
And the great thing is that we're getting we're starting to build our custom commanders now.
Yeah.
And some of the new ones, I wish I could show you. They're just so cool looking.
Yeah.
I mean, like just the coolest stuff.
Yeah.
Like you guys are gonna be blown away. So I'm looking forward not only to seeing all the custom commanders, but like in the future when other people start making their own commanders and modding, and it's going to be amazing. It's just the platform we've created is just it's just mind-boggling. It's going to be great.
And that's part of the Armory concept too. So I mean, you finally have a place now to see all the content that you own, and down the line as well. So,
yeah. It's very, very exciting. So hey, I want to show you a little bit about if you got some time.
Yeah. What we got? What we got?
I want to show you kind of the process we went through to generate all these. So in testing all this stuff, you know, I wanted to come up with a bunch of, you know, variations for each one of these skeletons. So I made this max file and just did a whole bunch of variations. Mark wanted me to show this image to you guys to show, you know, just how much experimentation and trial and error goes into this process. So if you just flip through some of these images, you kind of give an idea. So all these guys are animated too in this file. So it gave us a chance to try different, you know, designs on multiple different rigs and have them all animated to see, hey, does this clip here? And oh my gosh, it took so many adjustments to like, oh, I got to raise the weapons on this rig type because the spider legs are clipping into this, and then I have to redo it. Oh, it just took it took a really long time. But I think we ended up in a really good spot because we're going to have a lot of flexibility for commanders in the future. For
a solid 2 months, you'd pass your desk and all you would see is that screen and like these robots like infinitely kind of moving in a loop, right? I didn't understand it at first, but now it all makes sense. I'm just like, oh.
I felt bad. I mean, it was just horribly time consuming. But I mean, really, the idea was to think about the future. You know, making sure that people are, you know, can have a lot of flexibility with what they want to build.
Absolutely. So before I let you go, my man, tell me your favorite thing about Planetary Annihilation right now. Just
it's
fired
smashing.
out there.
Oh, come on, it's smashing planets.
Oh
my God, I never get tired of that.
Yeah, it's pretty
never
cool.
get tired of that. It's just amazing. So.
Cool, man. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it, brother.
Absolutely.
It's nice talking to you again.
All right, you too. All right.
That was good, Steve. Awesome, man.
I'm gonna do this right.
All right.
Back on.
So as some of you may have heard, we had some mic bleed through there, and I was tracking down what was going on with that weird loading issue, and apparently it's a client bug. And if that happens, hit F5, and it probably will fix it.
Oh, nice. Okay, good to know.
So that's a bug that slipped into the build today, which we will fix as quickly as we can. So it wasn't a server thing.
Cool. Well, that's good.
So, you know, we're going to take some questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
I find a lot of the questions that we get, I don't know the answer to.
Yeah, we got a lot of forward kind of.
Yeah, it's like, well, what are you going to do, you know, in this future situation, or when's this going to happen, or whatever. And you know, we don't generally feel comfortable answering questions that we don't really know the answer to. You know, if you'd asked 12 months ago in, you know, February of 2014, what's the game going to look like? You know, it would be a very difficult question to answer. So, you know, looking out into the future is tough.
Yeah.
Galactic War is definitely still on the radar.
Totally.
We're actively working on that. We haven't showed you guys, I don't think, anything on that yet.
Not yet.
We've got obviously all the Gamma features that we're pushing on, especially friends, chat, badges, all the new lobby stuff, more game options, fixing some of the stuff we went backwards on, tons more in-game UI stuff, the new formation. So there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe that isn't there yet.
And optimizations, both network and
T2
client.
mobile FLAC.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which we haven't built yet, but we all intend on getting in there.
Okay, perfect. A new unit coming. Probably in Gamma too, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean that unit.
Seems like a
I don't
Gamma
think we
thing.
have an actual timeline for it, but it's not going to take long to put it together.
Right.
So let's.
Will backers be able to download the music eventually? We have not released it in soundtrack form, and that might not be available for a while. I'd have to probably need to check in on Howard with that for a specific.
Well, we're going to do it as quickly as we can
Right.
because otherwise it'll just everyone's just going to copy it around anyway.
Right.
It's going to go up on iTunes as well, but there will be something that can be downloaded. Yeah.
What's you got? You want T2 mobile FLAC? Somebody's excited about it. That's what I like to hear. That's some cool stuff.
Somebody wants to know why there's a note on here, and I wrote a couple notes to myself of things I wanted to make sure that I covered. Soundtrack was #1. Make sure that we thank all the backers. Make sure we mention that the game is on sale on Steam and across everywhere else right now.
Forget that. So right now, across the Uber store, the Humble Bundle store, and Steam, you can grab Planetary Annihilation for $30. It's the lowest price ever.
And I wouldn't expect to necessarily see it at this price anytime soon again. So.
Right.
If you want to bring your friends in and you're waiting for the price to go down, now would be the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got a little buy button on the side of our Twitch page, or you can go to store.steampower.com or the Uber store and grab it right there. It's pretty cool, man. I like this video game.
So the other kind of category of questions that seem to come up a lot are things like, how do we crack planets easier, or are we going to make it easier to do that? And we're still doing a lot of work in those areas. I think I'd like to have Skathis back on the show at some point to talk more detail about balance and those kinds of things, because he's really the expert on that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of those questions would be better answered in that kind of context.
Yeah.
I want to get Howard on the show to talk about the orchestral score.
Yeah.
And we're going to do some more technical shows as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tech work that's been happening behind the scenes. Crazy amounts of optimization work in ChronoCam and graphics and stuff. So, and that's continuing,
Yeah, like the new particle effect system everyone's enjoying right now. Steve was head down on that for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Moving all that stuff over to the GPU.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that he did there. Not a question, but a statement. Tell Howard I love his music. I think he might be listening in jury duty. I don't know. He was tweeting earlier.
He was complaining about our sound issues.
Oh, was he? Fantastic.
I got a couple texts on my phone.
He's got jury duty. He's not here to run the soundboard. So Tim is nicely filling in, but he hasn't done it before, so it's a little rough when you first get into it.
Let's talk about the unit cannon again, because I've seen this question probably like 30 or 40 times today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the unit cannon to me is not a big priority. It's an immense amount of work to do it properly. There's a lot of edge cases, and we kind of, we want to stabilize the game a little bit and get what we've got playing well.
Yeah.
So I can understand people's excitement about the unit cannon, but holy cow, there's a ton of other units in the game. There's a lot there, and to me, I don't put that in at the top of the list at the current time.
Okay.
What was the other? There was another question that I wanted to answer. I had scrolled off, I think, so I guess it doesn't matter. Omega will be the final release. Probably not. Yeah, I guess never say never, right?
Who knows? What about strategic icons? They are blurred now. Sounds like a bug that we'll address soon.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of work going on in that area too, because there's some bugs with how those icons are rendered and the multi-viewport stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're actually going to be changing how those work, and that's probably why they're might be somewhat busted at the moment.
What about drop pods to invade planets? I think we've talked about the egg a couple times, but it's been a while.
Well, there's a difference between a drop pod. I mean, the unit cannon is really what would be generating drop pods if you think about it, right?
Yeah,
if you look at the original video, the egg concept is like the concept of having some sort of resource unit that you initially get when you touch down, and you know, as the game has evolved, I almost kind of felt like we haven't needed it. I mean, we always land you in a place where you have metal.
Right.
You know, we've increased the amount of storage capacity that the commander has, and it's full when you start.
Right.
So that kind of takes that role of the egg a little bit.
Yeah.
What I had originally been picturing was, you know, when you come in and you land, that the lander basically has this special unit that can kind of unfold and turn into like a little factory, maybe with some defenses on it. And it's still a concept that we're toying with, but you know, when you're making a video game, as you kind of go along, you'll find that you think certain ideas that you had are just not necessary, or de-emphasized or whatever. And I'd kind of put the egg into that category at the moment. It just doesn't feel like we need it.
Right.
So you know, we can argue about that on the forums, everyone, if you want to.
We'll get to it. Actually, can we cut to the game real quick? Because Mark is in it, and
oh yeah, we are on the game.
Oh, we are on the game.
Yep.
Great, fantastic. So you can tell we've switched some UI elements around, or not switched, I guess, but rebuilt some UI. The build bar now has 2 columns, which is handy for people who don't like to scroll. We also redid the players portion at the top left, which is really nice, and the font's different as well.
Yeah, we got a couple like render bugs and stuff, but this is still very work in progress, and it's going to come a long way in the coming weeks. So.
Oh, the other question that I was going to answer was the multi-planet start. I kind of had wanted to roll that out. Now, most of the code is written. We just have to do some more work on the actual lobby options to enable it.
Right.
So soon, you know, we never give actual timelines. We learned that the hard way. I mean, even this week, right? We were like, oh yeah, we're going to release Gamma on Thursday, and on Tuesday we're like, we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah. A thing that we're working on behind the background too, to go along with multi-planet starts, is a list of curated planets that we've created for folks to play on. Kind of like, I wouldn't say the best way to play the game, but certainly an ideal way for us, the creators of the game. So hopefully we'll roll those out in the very near future. They're not exactly tough to create.
Yeah, a lot of the lobby work we've done is basically to set us up for adding a bunch more features and stuff. So.
Absolutely, and I can't wait to get those in your hands. It might make tournaments a little bit easier, I would say. Like if there's like one like Uber sanctioned like 2v2v2 kind of map or whatever, I think that would help a lot. All right. So will the AI have different personalities or difficulty levels? That's a yes.
Yeah, it will.
And a win, you know, soon, right? I love the exclamations, just picture in picture.
Yeah, picture in picture is pretty cool. Like I said, there's a lot more that we want to do with it.
Yeah.
A lot more that we can do with it. It's just kind of scratching the surface right now. So, somebody want to pass me that sheet of paper right there?
Oh, yes, the forum questions. Let's do that.
Honestly, a lot of these questions, I mean, almost every question that was asked, people just want to know, when is stuff arriving?
Right.
You know, what is this going to be? And I really don't feel like people have an understanding of like how we're building this game.
Right.
We are building the game iteratively. I can't tell you in 3 months X feature is going to be done. There's no master schedule of like this little feature that you care about is going to be worked on by this guy at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon on this date. That's not how it works.
Right.
Right. We have a backlog of stuff we're trying to do. We try to prioritize it in an ongoing way. We try to get certain features in for certain releases.
Yeah.
But you know, future questions are literally asking me to have a crystal ball, which is it's just semi-cracked. You know.
Right.
That being said, let's kind of go through a couple of these.
Let's do it.
There's some questions about, are we going to make the game compatible with Steam services, achievements, workshop, inventory, trading cards, badges, the market, etc. The answer is, to some extent, yes. Right. I don't know that have solid plans worked out for that. It's certainly not like you know, at the top of the priority list or anything like that. You know, I'd love to do trading cards, but we literally have a choice. Do we spend time working on trading cards, or do we spend time working on the actual game?
Yeah.
And so far, the answer has been let's work on the game.
Let's work on the game.
Especially because not everyone even has the game through Steam.
Right.
What features are planned to make invading planets easier?
We
First
sped
of all,
up
I
a
think
little.
there's a couple questions there. One,
Yeah.
does it actually need to be easier to invade planets? I think most people would argue yes, but it's not clear to me that balance changes won't make that easier. But
Right.
secondarily to that, a planet is a death trap in this game. And I really encourage people to play with more asteroids in the game.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we're gonna that by rolling out more kind of set up systems
Yeah.
that people play on. Because if you're sitting there and you're just like on a planet and you're asking the question of how do I invade the planet, why do you want to invade it if the other guy owns it? Just take it out.
Right.
It's just that people are playing on these maps that don't have enough asteroids on them. So,
Yeah.
and actually, one of the common questions is, hey, how are we going to build asteroid belts? And the way I want to do that is in the system editor. Basically, right now you have different planet archetypes. We'll have
Yeah.
an asteroid belt archetype that you can basically set how many asteroids are in it and how big the ring is, etc.
Well, along those lines as well, we're kind of redoing how many Haleys are needed to smash something. We're actually
Right.
going to kind of mess with that a little bit.
Yeah, it should be based on mass basically. So we're making some tweaks there for sure. It was basically hard coded before.
Yeah.
Any chance of games bigger than 10 players yet? So it is a goal of ours to support bigger games. The technology fundamentally supports it.
Yeah.
I don't have a date for you on when we're going to allow that. Probably what we're going to do is slowly increase the number of players that are allowed. Right now we're at 10, which I think is pretty competitive with most games out there.
Yeah.
But we will ramp that up as soon as we feel comfortable doing so.
Perfect.
Galactic War, not really going to touch it. It's being worked on. We'll have more information for that later. How final is the new UI?
Nope.
As we said earlier, it's the first pass of the second pass.
Yeah.
Is it more final? Yeah, but there's still a lot of little pieces that are missing.
Yeah. How much cooler does it look? I love it. I love it. It's such a neat look.
It's definitely evolved
Yeah.
from what we had for sure.
For sure.
Is it a coincidence that Brad looks like the Uber logo?
Nope.
This is the most important question.
That's why I
my
put it in
favorite
there.
question, too.
Right?
No, I was born to be here.
So, yeah, the Uber logo was made about 5 years before I met Brad, so it is coincidence.
Or is it a ghost story?
Could be. Could be time travel, too.
Nice. I like it.
How many commander ideas do you guys have on the table that you have not shown us yet? Well, I think we kind of answered that question earlier,
Yes.
because they saw an army of commanders.
Yeah.
So the last one is kind of an interesting question. How much more variation in terrain when generating planets are we going to see in Gamma? I don't know about the timeline aspect of it, but from my perspective, we have a lot of interesting things that we can do with the terrain generation. A lot of interesting things, and I've been experimenting with some of those things. So I don't want to, kind of ruin anything, but the current state of the terrain, I think we get a lot of complaints that say, well, it's too flat, there's not enough kind of blockers and that kind of stuff. And so we realize that we have work to do there to make that more interesting.
Right.
And we are actively looking at that. So.
Awesome.
All right, so how long have we been doing this? How long has this live stream been?
38 minutes.
38 minutes.
38 minutes. I guess we can take a couple more.
Yeah, let's take a
questions
couple
then.
more. We do have to kind of get back. Today's a very, very busy day, just because,
Tomorrow's live stream.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, let's do a little bit of promotion. So tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be streaming the game at the studio, right here where Mark is, basically.
And that's UTC -8 for everyone who yells about the fact that we give times in the time zone we live in.
UTC -8.
That's right. UTC
Sounds like a
-8.
submarine. Yeah, okay, all right. So that time is, we'll be streaming the game at this channel, twitch.tv/UberEntertainment.
6 p.m. Greenwich, we're going to start that. Then,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. At that
GMT.
at that time, streaming the game all day. You'll get to meet a lot of folks in the office. So John and Eka, Mark will be here, and there'll be a couple other dudes like Forrest. We're getting Forrest in. Of course, if you listen to our podcast, you hear Forrest all the time. But I think it's the first time he's been on a live stream, right?
Yeah, actually it will be.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I thought
One
he
of the
was
first
on-
times. He's been on once or twice.
Outland games.
Yeah,
Oh, did
it's
he?
been a while.
Oh, there we go, my man Forrest. So you'll get to meet a lot of dudes from the studio, get to play with us, because we'll play with you as well as each other, and just experience Gamma as we roll it out. And of course, I guess, should we throw in this promo here? You know, of course, Gamma available right now for $30 on Steam, the Uber store, and the Humble Bundle store. Fantastic places to buy the game all. And alongside your purchase, of course, you get Gamma, which is our brand new release today.
You know, that reminds me of something. There's several people that have been like, well, I bought a beta key. But do I get Gamma?
Right.
It's like, no. Once you buy a key for the game, it never
the
shuts
game.
off.
Yeah.
You know, we can call it whatever phase we want. You're still going to have the game. So don't worry about that.
Except our $100 Omega phase, though. Don't forget that.
Yeah, don't forget that. That'll be a pop-up window.
That's coming.
It'll be like, would you like to go Omega?
Yeah, and you just click accept and pay us $100. It's that easy. No. Please don't write me emails about that.
That's a joke.
Total joke. Maybe.
Ish.
So let's throw us some questions that aren't about bacon. Come on, let's do this, guys. Give us good ones. Do you guys ever sleep? Yes, but rarely.
I try to
Every other
keep
Tuesday.
a regular sleep schedule as much as possible. Otherwise, I get really screwed up.
I go sleep at 9 every night. It's pretty sad.
You guys are old.
It's true.
Yeah, we are old.
It's true. Will terrain ever affect unit vision radius? That's an interesting one.
Oh, what was the question?
Will terrain ever affect unit vision radius?
Yeah, it's an interesting question.
And it never affects the player's vision, so why should it impede the units, I guess?
Well,
That might be frustrating.
it's not a crazy feature to talk about, to have line of sight in it.
Right.
The issue is it's going to be a lot more work to render it properly and do all that kind of stuff. And how does that kind of trade off against the size of games that we want to have? And is it really a feature that's worth kind of putting that much juice into?
Right.
So it hasn't really bubbled up. I mean, I have some thoughts on how it could work, but it's a pretty hardcore feature. And
Yeah,
so
that's pretty hard.
I guess we'll put that in the kind of like TBD category.
Real alien planets, like purple ones? Yes. No. Tim, what do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
Tim says he wants it. We definitely want to roll out more biomes over time. I'm pretty happy with the amount of variety in the biomes, like right this second. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of interesting stuff. For example, people are always asking about a city biome. I think that's a great idea. I think putting some unique elements on planets is a great idea. So it's all a work in progress.
Absolutely. All right, one more question. One more question, guys. Make it a good one. Ask a great question about me, preferably, because I'll end it on that.
Well, they want to know if there's going to be bacon commanders.
I would imagine.
The question is, do we want to break the fiction by saying that bacon is the most powerful type of steel, like future stuff? And so if your commander is made from bacon, it's super invulnerable.
Yes. Yeah, I think we do. I'm just now thinking of a bacon commander. Where's Steve? Did Steve already leave? Steve already left. I don't know if it's possible. Could we do a bacon commander?
I think we could.
Yeah.
I think
Bacon
Andrew
bones.
could pull that off.
Andrew, what do you think?
Even shader. We need a nice meaty shader.
A nice meaty
So
shader.
the only barrier Andrew says is we need a meat shader.
So there you go.
That good grease sheen.
We should start up another Kickstarter for it. A meat shader.
Okay, so I think we should wrap this up. We're gonna live stream
Absolutely.
for hours and hours and hours tomorrow,
Yeah.
just playing the game.
Absolutely.
Like I said, this is a little bit of a wacky one because we're all
Yeah.
kind of a little more tired than usual, I think.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So if you want to catch us on the Facebook or on the Twitter, please do so. It's twitter.com/uberint and Planetary Annihilation on the Facebook. Of course, if you like what you saw today and would love to get alerts whenever we do start streaming again, just click subscribe. So if you have problems with time zones and stuff like that, you'll just get an email as soon as we go. So you'll know when we're live. And of course, you can buy Planetary Annihilation and Planetary Annihilation Gamma on Steam right now for $30. And that's also available in the Uber store and the Humble Bundle store. What a fantastic deal. What do you think?
I think it's a great deal, actually. I mean,
Yeah. It's a really great deal, guys.
get it while it's hot.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. PST. It's a lot of streaming, and make sure to join us for some games. Let's have fun. Let's play some Gamma.
I think I'm just gonna watch the stream and make fun of whoever's on it.
You probably will.
I'll be on a plane, so I don't know.
You going somewhere?
Yeah, I'm going to Indiana, going back home.
Huh.
So, Wi-Fi, plain Wi-Fi. Are we done? I think we're done.
Out.